Hi, my beautiful souls. I am Lady Stars and Fire. My real name is Michelle Espinosa. Now, normally I do a weekly healing message, but with the energies I'm getting and what I'm reading in astrology, this is more like 2 weeks. So this is from April 6th through to the 22nd. So I'm going from the full moon to the new moon. And I have no choice. I'm having to bring it out now and put them in the 2 weeks into one. I've been doing the videos for all the zodiac signs and the astrology for them. And as I've been doing them, I was pulling together this energy of what Spirit was trying to tell me. When I finally figured it out, and that's why I'm bringing it out this way. Sorry, Spirit's talking. All right. This is coming into a serious time of self-realization, but in a way that you don't even understand yet. Spirit is saying this is a test of growth in the divine connection of your divine self, which is self-realization, but connecting with that divine energy from within. This whole month, but especially right now from the 6th through the 22nd at least, because I've been being given 19 over and over and over again. And I was putting it with the sun moving into Taurus, and it is with the sun moving into Taurus as we come closer to that new moon on the 22nd, but it's starting before that. First off, Spirit keeps giving me 19. Now, in ancient times, 19 spoke to us of the number of surrender. It also speaks to us of the universal spiritual law, the spiritual energy, the universal law. I've only been saying since all of last year that this was a 4-year. And for me, that means the universe is going to get its way. And I've been saying you either get on board or the universe will put you on board. And I'm trying to bring this out because I try to make these videos as positive as I possibly can. And the way Spirit's maneuvering it to me, that it's I don't want to say it's a warning, because it's not a warning. And it can be a glorious time. But that also means, okay, the best way I know how to put this is, you've seen the movie Men in Black and how they're dealing with the aliens. I think it's the first one. And I think it was Kay said to Jay, one person can be intelligent and handle the truth. But everybody, giving it all to everybody at one time, and the world goes a little bit crazy. They can't handle the truth. One person at a time can. That speaks to me of what this energy is. We speak about understanding and believing in energy. Whether it's astrology, whether you're healers and you're working with energy, we speak about trusting our intuition. We speak about spiritual growth and coming into our intuitive self, our authentic self, coming into our soul fire. We speak about, your third eye opening. And I say that because, to be honest, if you're not one of those people that are coming into these energies, then you're not going to take the time to listen to these videos that I make. So technically, you're somebody who bounces back and forth as you're maturing and growing and learning from the 3D to the 5D. 3D, 5D. Learning how to take the 5D and actually step into it, understand it, and be part of it, and bring it back to the 3D where you bring it into manifestation. You bring it back into the physical, tangible world. See, you're learning how to do this. You're going back and forth. But let me get a little bit more deep, as Spirit puts it to me. we speak about sacred space, you know, for your meditation, for your time, for your me time. Sometimes sacred space is going out and taking a walk in the woods. Sometimes your sacred space is your place where you do your own personal rituals. Sometimes it's where you do your meditation. We hold space. People who are in healing hold space to keep protective energies in. We speak of being an empath and sucking up energies like a sponge. So you have to learn how to shield that energy. We speak of nurturing our soul and our truth. We speak of wholeness. We speak of oneness. We speak of these things. How deeply do you believe in them? How much do you really bring that into your life? This is why I said Spirit is giving me and saying it's a test on the growth of your divine wisdom, your divine self connection. Because if you're really holding space, you're really, you know, realizing you're holding space, you're working with that empath energy, you're truly nurturing the soul. You're looking into the idea of sacred space. The question then becomes, well, why aren't you declaring yourself? Why don't you see yourself as sanctified? You need to actually see yourself as sacred. You need to see yourself as honor, so you can nurture that truth. A lot of us talk about that nurturing, that wholeness, that soul, shielding our energy, holding space, but are we starting to truly see ourselves as sacred? And how do you treat yourself if you're sacred? Sorry, I have notes here. Because the energies that are coming in, you need to realize that, first off, we have to connect with that sacred energy of our own self. And that's accepting yourself for all of your good and your bad. Acknowledging it. Working with it so you can nurture what needs to be nurtured by acknowledging what you deny. There are two kinds of incredibly dangerous people. And then Spirit gives me the skunk as a way to explain this. Because the skunk can be incredibly dangerous to the way most of animals, even humans, feel. Nobody wants to be sprayed by the skunk. So people avoid the skunk. And the skunk pretty much gets to live in its security. Because the skunk knows that all the other animals and everybody else knows that spray and knows that they don't want to have to deal with that spray because it's in its power. There's a difference between somebody who's dangerous because they are changing the world, because they've come into their true oneness, they've come into their true wholeness, they know how to truly hold space. And they're able to hold that power, not allow their emotions to run wild and drive them crazy. They're able to be secure with the world around them and themselves. Like a skunk. A skunk knows everybody else is scared of it. It doesn't want to get sprayed. When you're secure, you don't have to act crazy. It's when you're insecure is when we do things that aren't exactly good for us. There's a difference between being dangerously powerful because you know your power, you're ready to hold your own. And I don't mean from a level of insecurity. The skunk takes 10 days to recharge, so to speak, its spray before it's actually able to defend itself again. But nobody knows the last time the skunk sprayed, so you never know if the skunk really is capable of spraying until it's too late. But the skunk is the only one that knows. Do you get where I'm going? Someone who is insecure is going to act out without coming from a level of security. They're going to act out, speak their mind, be possessive, and controlling because they're not in their power. There's two dangerous kinds of power. One that is coming from a very insecure, fearful level and is capable of doing anything because of that fear. And then there's the dangerous ones that want to change because they're able to hold space. Which one are you? And the reason I say that is because in this next 2 weeks especially, ego has a way of being able to trip you up. With the energies that's going on, with the virus and everything else, and there's so many things going on outside. Ego can put you in fear. And if you're fearful, then you're fearful. Ego can also make you more fearful because it'll keep you manifesting and looking into it and looking it up more and bringing more of it to you, which is just creating more fear and anxiety and doubt and worry and insecurities to be dangerous in a negative way. Or ego can trip you up by making you feel like you're invincible. Either way, ego has a way of winning. There's a difference between being in your power and holding space and knowing how to control things from a complete sacred state of being versus those who are insecure and are dangerous for all the wrong reasons, and you really have no idea what kind of crazy is going on in their head. This is why they give me the skunk, because you never know if the skunk has sprayed within those 10 days or not. They also give me the fox, which speaks to you of doing things that you already have. It speaks to you of knowing that you have all you need. A lot of these people are getting all paranoid, like you've run out of hand sanitizer. You can make hand sanitizer. I'm just using this as an example. Like thieves' oil. People use things all the time. They purchase things all the time. Have you ever looked up why it's called thieves' oil? And if you can't purchase it online, you can purchase the things to make it. There are things that you can do to help you feel secure. Whether you already have the things or not, is what I'm trying to say. Because the fox in this case is speaking to us of helping us reassure ourselves if we need that to get that security back. Because sometimes when we're shape-shifting, we're learning how to explore ourselves. We're learning how to grow. We must come into understanding. I say this when I speak in astrology of the second house. There are certain things that make you feel more like you. Certain things that enhance your self-worth, your self-value, your self-esteem. For some people, that's because you need to wear glasses. For some people, this is your haircut. For some people, it's your clothing. There are things that help you be you. Just like a sparrow sings its soul song. What helps you get your soul song sung? These are the things, and I'm not talking about possessions. I'm talking about if you can connect to those things that help you get that security within finding the depth of who you are, nurturing who you are, finding the sacred energy that helps you get to realizing your sacred energy, not the possessive energy, then you're going in the right direction. And because this week you're going to be triggered of actual things that you need to take action on in the physical world. Physical steps that you need to take. And that will help trigger your growth. Or show, like I said, there's two kinds of dangerous people. Those that hold space and those that are just completely insecure. Which one are you? Now, with that being said, I'm going to explain why I'm doing the 2 weeks. See, doing it like I am. Okay, first off, you have Libra on the 7th, which is the full moon. It is directly across from the energies going on with Aries. With Chiron. I'm just going to put it for the whole sign together. First off, Libra has Haumea in it, Make in it, and Juno. So this is the level of the lotus flower. The lotus flower speaks to us of spiritual growth, spiritual maturity, and spiritual evolution. But it grows from a swamp. It grows, the most beautiful thing of spiritual teaching grows from a swamp. And I've only been saying you're walking through your Shawshank rivers of shit to come out clean on the other side. We're talking about Libra, harmony, balance, and justice in the relationships. Well, the first relationship is always to yourself. Because if you don't have a healthy relationship to yourself, then no other relationship is going to be healthy either. The collective consciousness is in that relationship or relationships of your life, and you have relationships with everyone in your life. And not just people. You have a relationship with your money. When you have no money, you know about your relationship with that money. Tapping into those insecurities. Do you feel that you are still stuck in the freaking swamp and you can't see the light of day or the light period because you're stuck in the swamp? Because the relationship may be mirroring back to you something that you need to work on about yourself. Or it could be teaching you people who you don't need to have in your life anymore. It's asking you to have the sacrifice and commitment to yourself, nurturing of yourself, and your sacred life so that you can have sacred relationships. Again, are you traveling through your inner Shawshank? Traveling through your rivers of shit so that you can come out clean on the other side? Or are you just floating in the river of shit? Are you starting to bob and breathe and see that there's fresh air? Or are you truly stretching for your sacred energy, your spiritual growth, your spiritual wisdom? Are you learning to hold space? Because it's not getting along with Aries, which is me first energy. The sun is here in Aries. First off, even the meekest get ballsy in Aries. I explain it this way a lot. There's certain people that you know that are a little bit mousy, quiet, don't speak up for themselves too much. Not in this energy. When the sun is in Aries, people speak up. Whether it's speaking up from which side of the dangerous. Are they speaking up with wisdom and security, or are they speaking up from insecurity? Not to mention, that is going on about looking at the me first energy, self-awareness, physical body, personality, appearance, view of life, core identification, your image, is the relationships of your life. You have relationships with your friends, relationships with your loved ones, relationship with your spouses, relationships with your children, with your parents, and again, you have relationships with your money. So, what are these relationships mirroring back to you? And is it a mirror, or is it something that needs to change? Chiron is the wounded healer, which is saying right off the bat, something has to change. Lilith is backing it up with her fire to give you even more courage. Now, the thing is as we move away from this full moon, the very next day, as the moon moves into Scorpio, Scorpio is where we're the most emotional and we're the most detectives. We can drive ourselves batshit crazy because we overanalyze in Scorpio with the moon. And it's really not getting along with much of nobody. It's pretty much fighting with everyone but Chiron, the wounded healer, and standing in that power. But again, is it standing in it from a dangerous or from a dangerous? From a positive, coming in your sacred space energy, or just full-on dangerous? As we move away from the full moon, which is all about release, surrender, and let go, also 19, and we start to move towards that new moon, which will be in Taurus, here comes even more energy. What most astrologers are not going to tell you is at the end of Eris, and I think we start noticing this around the 10th, at the end, not the end of Eris, at the end of Aries, Eris is here. Now, for those of you who've followed me for a long time, Eris is who I call Medusa. Trouble, toil, and strife. She's your inner, never got healed. She's your inner injustice. And the sun's going to be right on top of it, right before it enters into Taurus. So the sun is illuminating Medusa, trouble, toil, strife. And she's absolutely going to be squaring Capricorn right up until the 22nd, even though the sun will be moving out. So, trouble, toil, strife, questioning the outer foundation of your honor, of your reputation, prestige, authority, social foundations, financial success, or financial in general, the outer community. Pluto is in shadow. Pluto goes retrograde on the 25th. He is death, decay, and destruction for renewal, rebirth, and regeneration. Sitting on top of Jupiter and on top of Pallas, Athena, the warrior goddess. And what I'm getting from her strategic thinking is the owl and the wisdom from the underworld. But are you getting the wisdom, or is your underworld just coming up without wisdom? Pluto, death, decay, and destruction for renewal, rebirth, regeneration is all about, would you please get right with Soul? Period. That's what it is. Would you please get right with Soul? It's a 4-year. You're either going to get right with the universal direction, or it's going to make you get right. So you've got inner energy of trouble, toil, strife illuminating itself in a brand new cycle. Will you heal that? Or will you start the cycle again? Which kind of dangerous? And are you noticing if it's illuminating, mirroring energy? Or if things need to change? If you have fears, stay home. If you're negative, freaking stay home. Don't be coming out bringing out more negativity and more anxiety and insecurities. And if you're an essential, somebody who works with essential in the essential areas, go do your work and go home. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to say, be smart. You don't know what the other people are doing, and you only know if you're secure. You don't was secure with who you are. You don't know if the next person next to you is full on crazy or secure. Not to mention, as soon as the sun goes over Eris, then she moves into, and then she's going to be, for most of the week, she's going to be in, the sun will be in conjunction with Eris until it leaves Aries. As soon as it finishes trampling over Chiron and Lilith, then it's going to move into Taurus, where then it will be in conjunction with Uranus. Independence, individuality, uniqueness, freedom, self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. That second house. And let me remind you, on the universal second house, which it rules, Taurus does. Taurus wants luxury. Taurus wants beautiful. Taurus wants the better things in life. But Taurus can be incredibly freaking bullheaded. And it's patient enough to think through exactly what it's going to be bullheaded about. And sit in that energy, whether it's bullheaded for the right reason or the wrong. Taurus rules the second house, which speaks to us of our possessions. It speaks to us of our money and how we create and spend our money. It speaks to us also of our hidden talents. And are we going to find them? And how do we manifest from our self-worth, our self-value, our self-esteem to create more money, to create what you want? Because when you're in self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, not from a dangerous, negative point of view, because it speaks to you about investing in yourself, not investing in your insecurities, because then you're not actually coming into self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. You're coming into more fear and anxiety. See, Taurus has two sides here. Not to mention it rules money and small possessions, which makes Taurus energy. Either you're coming into your power and you're actually being able to invest in yourself. If that means take this time to do schooling, to do, college schooling, catching up on some biographies, whatever, maybe if you're an artist and you're a writer, maybe this is the time to take some time and put some energy into the writing. Invest in yourself. If you're a musician, take some time to invest into your art. Invest in self. Invest in self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. Invest in what makes you secure. That soul song. Invest in securing that spiritual, soulful wisdom, that soul fire. Because if you're not investing in that, what you are investing in is insecurities and being possessive and then being controlling. This energy can go either way, depending on what kind of dangerous you are. And the thing is, you could be standing in your sanctified, sacred energy and investing in yourself and what you want to see grow. But nobody knows if the person next to you is doing the same thing. Stay home. Invest in yourself. And if you're insecure, stay home and learn how to invest in yourself. I love you guys. You have the new moon that's coming up on the 22nd. The sun, the moon, Taurus, Uranus Independence, individuality, uniqueness, freedom for a new beginning. 19 also speaks to you of the end of a cycle and the beginning of another. What cycle are you starting? I love you guys. Bye.